Detroit Lions fans, it's a big weekend, Will. It's a big weekend. Do you know what's going on this weekend? Not Lions related.
Enlighten me.
It's Mother's Day. So for those of you out there that are fortunate enough to still have your mothers around, make sure you text, make sure you call. If you're unfortunate and you don't, your mother's not around, spend some time with her in whatever way you see fit. I know me and my wife went and celebrated tonight because I have to work Sunday, but it's Mother's Day. And one of the things that I love about the draft, I can't remember his name, but the guy that always announced the pick for the Las Vegas Raiders in the second round would always say the same thing. Like, make sure you call, text, do something for your mom, buy her some flowers, buy her some cards. Also, some other news, more Detroit Den related. We've hit it. We've hit our members number. We're over 100. Monday, we are going to do a members only live stream. Members only. You guys are the only ones who are going to know about it. We'll try to do that. What time are you thinking? Well, like 7:30, sometime around there. I think we both work that day, or at least I do. So I'm thinking 7:30. We're going to go live, members only. We'll do like a little Q&A, just a little sit back, chit chat, talk some stuff, give away this beautiful Aiden Hutchinson helmet, that Brian Branch jersey. It's going to be fun. Look forward to it. And again, thank you guys. We hit that 100 mark. We're going to keep growing. We're going to keep doing bigger and better stuff. Trust me on that one. I don't want to drop too much, but there's going to be some stuff. Well, what are we talking today?
Before we talk about what we're going to be talking today, I do want people to know this. There's going to be a mystery giveaway as well. There's going to be, there's going to be something that's worth your while. So it's not only going to be these couple things. It's and the helmet itself is Aiden Hutchinson helmet. What are we doing here?
Certificate right here on the back, right here. That's a nice little.
There's gonna be another mystery item that'll be also a part of the giveaway. So keep a lookout for that. I would advise you to make sure that you're in. You got until Monday to make sure you're in. So do what you need to do to make sure you're in. If you have Twitter or X, reach out to me and I will walk you through it the best that I can. But getting to the business today, Steve. Hey, you remember back in the day, back in high school, you had those first day of school pictures. You got that outfit ready to go, and you get out in front of the house and you pose. You remember that? You do any of those?
I was gonna say I remember getting like my pictures taken by my mom, yes, but not like school pictures. But yeah, absolutely. You get that fresh outfit, brand new shoes. You got it all hung up in your on your door the night before. Your mom's pressed it, so you're gonna be looking real good. You maybe you sleep in the new shoes. Absolutely. Yeah, I remember.
Ready to can't wait to get to school. And can't wait to see, what girls got new items on it. Never mind, disregard. Anyways, hey, buddy, like I couldn't wait. Hey, who got a little bit taller? Who got a little bit? Anyway, so like back to the business. You got to focus. Detroit Lions.
Who got a little bit thicker? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what who's a little bit thicker? Maybe, got some new assets. That's the things that a young boy thinks about. Don't judge me here. Detroit didn't 3-1. This is supposed to be a judgment-free zone. But to the business today. Detroit Lions rookies, first day on the job today, Steve. First day on the job. So Pride of Detroit was gracious enough to give us a little insight on the first day on the job for a lot of these rookies. Did you get an opportunity to check that out?
Yes, read the article. That's where a lot of our news is going to be coming today. So we'll give a shout out to Jeremy Reisman of Pride of Detroit. This is in regards to his article. Great article. If you want to check him out, look him up on Twitter. But that's where a lot of our news is coming today. So we don't steal content here. We give shout outs where it needs to be given. So a great article, and that's what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, so I wish we could have been there, but I heard so many things. And then the article just led me to get on Twitter too. And then I'm looking at Ray Agnew had a press conference today. People were dropping little snippets about some stuff. Tim 20min was dropping some salt. It was just a lot of different things going on. So out of all of the rumor mill, the information that was put out, the beat writers, was there anything that stood out to you today that you would really like to bring to light?
Oh yeah, well, there was some very, very interesting things that I thought I saw today, and some things that we had already talked about. But the biggest thing for me was guard Tate Ratledge, go Dogs, Pride of Georgia, getting some reps at center today. Why did I just kick Will out? I don't know what's going on. Will might be having an emergency. We'll get him back in here in a second. I think his headset died, so we're going to stick around. I'm talking about Tate Ratledge playing some center today. This is something we kind of talked about after his draft show. I think one of the Detroit Lions coaches kind of alluded to it. So I'm very, very interested in that. Played with the full team at walkthroughs at center. It was hard to definitively tell, but I would say he came close to splitting those reps with undrafted rookie Leaf Fatanau. That's a quote from Jeremy Reisman's article where that's coming from. But I think that is what interested me the most. Well, I don't know. Oh my gosh. I was thinking your headset died, and here you come with this.
Did you say something about Tate? Did you say something about Tate? Huh? But my boy Tate got me inspired. I don't know. We might have to do a mullet.
I'm gonna say this, Will.
Talk to me.
You look like Whitney Houston, if I'm being honest with you.
Hey, listen, I just gotta get the stash back, man. That's all I need is that. Listen, Tate's got me feeling inspired, man.
Unbelievable.
Bro, it will be. It might be a mullet Mondays, guys. You gotta let me know in the comments. What do you think about mullet Mondays? I missed it though. Tate, what were you saying about Tate? I know you're probably
trying to run a professional organization here, done 3-1-3 with no joking, just strictly business. But I was talking about Tate playing a little bit of center today. How's that make you feel?
Hey, I'm excited about it.
And are you really going to do the rest of the podcast with that on your head?
I think it must happen. I think I'm feeling pretty good about it. I feel like it brings out my eyes. All I'm missing is the stash. This thing goes to this.
All you're missing is some hoop earrings, and I could put you on the street and make some money off you.
Anywho, back to the business at hand here. My boy Tate at center, man. I love it. I love it. We keep on getting the rumors, and they are rumors, man, about my man Frank Ragnow potentially at any given time he might have to call it due to that toe injury. I think that he has a little bit more juice in the tank than a lot of people may believe, but nonetheless, if he needs a break, we got options. We got Graham Glasgow, we got Tate Ratledge, and now, at the same time, hopefully Frank is going to be there taking care of business. But we got 3 different options if we need to get some center reps. And then Kobe Sorstaw, if he makes this team, he's another one who has some center in his game too. So it just gives me a warm and fuzzy. Him, guard or center, whatever we need, we are going to have a strong offensive line. But Steve, the most exciting thing that I heard today about Tate Ratledge was from his teammate Dominic Lovett. Right, he said, did you hear what he said?
No, I saw some stuff that he said about Isaac Tesla, and I was going to get to that, but what did he say about Tate?
So when he got interviewed today at the press conference for the rookies, they asked him about Tate. They said, hey man, you got some Georgia teammates out here, you got
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs. And they said, can you give us any insight on Tate? And he said, he will die for his quarterback. He ain't gonna let nobody touch that quarterback. And I said, ooh, I love that energy coming from a teammate, knowing what his mindset is and what his thought process is gonna be. And then he also went into still getting to know his teammates, but are still going through the process of getting to know some of those guys, but the team itself and the line itself just seeming like a tough, gritty group. And when Tate did his interview today, he mentioned the same thing. He also mentioned Coach Hank Fraley. Steve, that O-line is going to be special. I'm excited for it, man. So yeah, Tate, that stood out to me as well.
Real quick, the last thing that kind of sticks out to me with Tate is him playing some center. And I started asking myself, what does that mean for Graham Glasgow? Because Graham's kind of the backup center. So now if we're looking at Tate flat out stealing his guard job, what does that look like if something happens to Frank? Does Tate slide over, or is it Graham? And then do you bring in a guy like Miles Frazier we're going to talk about? Like, I don't know what Graham Glasgow's future is. And I've kind of been defending Graham. I'm not just putting him out to pasture just because he's a little bit older. He's a seasoned vet, but it's just kind of in my head, like, if we run into that situation where Frank's banged up or, he needs a day off or whatnot for his toe that's, just kicking his ass for the last 3 years, if he just needs a game, do you slide Tate over there? And then does Miles Frazier come in at that other guard? Like, I'm starting to really wonder what's going to happen with Graham Glasgow.
Steve, I think what we're going to see is exactly what Brad Holmes described last year with the secondary, and that's a bloodbath. We're going to see a bloodbath. And it may be even a bigger bloodbath than we had in the secondary last year, because these guys, man, they're deep. They're deep in my opinion, man, because I'm still not gonna completely give up on guys like I said, Kobe Swordstall, Coyote Awasika. These guys aren't just gonna just quit football because we got these new guys in. You know what I mean? So these guys are fighting to make this team, man. Kingsley Nguakin was another guy, man, that I felt like could have been sniffing around trying to stay on this roster, stay on the practice squad, keep having a fighting chance. So, man, it's gonna be interesting to see who's the cream that rises to the top out of these groups, man. So I know we're going to get into Miles Frazier, so I won't go down that road quite yet, but it's exciting, man. I'm excited for Tate, man, to see where he falls.
We got to talk about Tyleik Williams, number 1 pick, 28 overall. Mr. Reisman has said that he noticeably stood out just when he walked out onto the field, just because of his size. 334 pounds, was lining up in that 0 technique and a little bit of 3, Will. So how you feeling about Mr. Tyleik Williams?
I think it speaks to his athleticism. I think I've heard a few people on Twitter mentioning that he was going to play nose because of his size. I think that those are people that aren't really completely familiar with him. I don't think that because of his size, he's just a guy that's just going to line up at nose and just that's it. He's athletic, man. He can play 3 tech. I wouldn't be surprised to see him playing in a 4 or a 5 in certain situations, man. Like, he's an athletic freak. He's way more athletic than the average guy that's 340 freaking pounds. He'll be able to take on double teams, but I think he's going to offer a little bit of pass rush upside. Is he ever going to be a 10-sack guy? Probably not, but he could be a 5 or 6 sack guy a season, you know, after he gets his bearings under him and he gets, you know, an understanding of what this league is and what it isn't, man. So I'm really excited for his pass rush upside. I'm really excited for them to be able to play some games because I think Ali McNeil is a guy that you can play in a 0 as well. So these are guys that can shift, bounce around the defensive line, give you different types of looks, man. When we get everybody back, it's going to be interesting because I don't know that DJ Reader is a guy that I'm ever going to be looking to get outside of that 0 and 1. Like in certain situations here and there sporadically, yes, he's not going to make his living playing outside that 0 and 1 though. That's not what DJ Reader is, in my opinion. Can he do it in spots? Yes, but that's not where his bread and butter is. But Tyleik Williams is more athletic than DJ Reader, in my opinion. I haven't seen him on the NFL field yet, but what I seen in college was explosive.
And what's scary is in college, you know, we talked about, and he's even said that, you know, in that Buckeye system that sometimes he wasn't allowed to pass rush. He was kind of just the contain run stopper. But if we really unlock that pass rush potential, Will, it's just going to be a nightmare. But what is he, like 6'4", 334 pounds? I can't remember his exact height, but 334 pounds is just a massive man. And he's athletic. Like, gosh, I just can't wait for Ali McNeil to get back and to see them two just next to each other, because that's going to be your defensive tackle pairing for the future. Love DJ Reader, but we know what he is. He's not going to be a 10-year Detroit Lion or whatever. I mean, he might get re-signed. I don't know. We'll worry about that next season. But this is going to be your starting defensive tackles for the next 5, 6, 7 years potentially. So yeah. I can't wait to see it. I know we got to be a little patient, but just thinking about that gets me a little excited in the pants, Will. But what else stuck out to you today?
Before we get off Tyleik, one last question. They mentioned today that they're kind of bringing him in on a kind of a load management because of that team down south going and playing in the national championship, winning the national championship with an asterisk, of course. But because he played so much football, that kind of got him on a load management program. Do you think, because he did have that tumble at the combine, do you think that they're hiding something, or do you think that they're just trying to go be smart about this thing? Because he did mention he's just on a load management. They're just trying to be smart, and he's 100% fine. But I don't know that they would really say if he wasn't. So do you think that there is something more to it, or you think they're just trying to be smart with him?
Well, his pro day was just like at in the beginning of April, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember the exact day. And he took that tumble and did a little something to his hamstring. So I'm not 100% sure, but I'm not worried about it because it's rookie minicamp. Like, it's literally just a chance for them to come in, get acquainted with some players, some coaches, get a little bit of tips here and there. The rookie minicamp is a little bit exciting and it's a little bit important. Like, this isn't like going to be breaking news or anything like that, but it's just kind of like a familiarization. This is literally the first step of real offseason stuff going on. So I'm not worried about it. If they're being careful, that's perfectly fine. I don't know exactly what he did. I don't even think they came out and said what he did while he was running his 40, but better safe than sorry is how I feel.
Yeah, me too, man. I thought it was interesting just because, hey, man, if they're looking out for you like that, I think they're expecting him to have a big impact here in this upcoming season.
Who else you want to talk about today? Well, who else stood out to you?
Listen, I mean, we can't get on here and not talk about the Jag himself, Isaac Tesla. Isaac Tesla made some plays today, and they said it was 50-50 honest assessment, man. They said he made some good plays, and there were some plays where he fell down and got knocked around a little bit. I don't think that it's anything to panic about. He's a rookie, and they put him in there with some veteran guys that are kind of on the bubble. All right, so whether you're on the bubble or not, if you've been around the league and you have an understanding of the speed of the game and some tricks and tools of the trade in your secondary bag, there's some things that you can do to throw a rookie off his course, especially when you're playing press man against him and he hasn't seen press man in the whole time he's been playing out there at Arkansas. So very little press man he saw. So he had some trouble in some reps, but he won some reps as well. Looked good catching the ball with his hands. How you feeling about Isaac Tesla, the stuff that we heard today, and just general going in moving forward?
Well, I heard he made some nice catches in some 7-on-7 drills. Again, let's temper our expectations. All right, it's 7-on-7. There's no real pass rush. I mean, yeah, you're going against some real secondary coverage stuff, but I don't get overly excited about 7-on-7s. I know your son does some 7-on-7 football, so maybe you can shine a little bit more light on this, but from what I heard, he had an okay day. I mean, he made a nice comeback catch on one of the undrafted free agent rookies that we signed. I saw a little clip. I didn't see many video clips today, but I did see on Twitter that he was just running some footwork drills, and I think his feet are a little bit better than what maybe I gave credit for. And I get it. This is just a drill. It's not real game stuff. It's not real routes, anything like that. But well, I'm thinking we got a steal here. And I know a lot of people don't want to call it a steal because we traded so much to move up and get him. But Isaac Tesla is the guy that I picked to be the biggest rookie impact on this team. So I'm going to be pounding my chest for him every chance I get. So I like what I heard. I like what I saw. I'm excited to see what happens going forward.
So you basically said that Isaac Tesla is pretty much the equivalent of Cooper Kupp is what I heard.
Don't let this kid be Jordy Nelson. That's my comp for him. Do not let him be Jordy Nelson, William. Do not.
I like it. I know that the kid wants it, man, in all seriousness. And I love that about him. I love the Michigan story. I love his story in general. Wearing the Lions jersey, wearing the Lions pullover today. Ray Agnew even mentioned that. I didn't know that he had a pullover kind of masking or hiding the custom jersey that he had on underneath, man. So when he peeled off that Lions pullover, he had a custom authentic Tesla. I think it was a 10 or a 12 jersey that he had custom made. But yeah, man, I'm excited to see what he does moving forward, man. I still believe all of the things that I said coming out pre-draft, but I think that he's got an upside that I didn't see, and I can't wait to be wrong. And I've changed my tune now, but I can't wait to be wrong about my initial assessment of him pre-draft, because pre-draft. Yeah, no, I do think he's just a guy, but I think he's got the will to turn himself into something else, man. And I'm excited to watch it happen, man. So, Isaac, do your thing, man. We're cheering for you here at Detroit 313.
I wish I was just a guy that could be 6'4" and just a guy who could run a 4.4. I don't know, Will, but there's absolutely no way in hell we're gonna get off here without talking about Ahmed Hassanein. This is a direct quote from the article that Jeremy wrote earlier. Perhaps the most Hassanein-like moment happening during individual drills where players were working on an edge-bending drill that finishes with a tackling dummy. The horn sounded to rotate to the next drill, but Hassanein pleaded to coaches to give him one more shot. They obliged, and Hassanein obviously finished the drill. Well, this is just a guy whose mindset is one more rep. If I don't do it right, give me one more rep. Like that is the body of the city of Detroit. Just, hey, let's get it right. Let's do things. Like if I didn't perform to my best, I'm either going to stay at practice if they don't let me get this rep on my own, or I'm going to go out and do it when they give me another chance. Like this guy is, well, I don't know. I could talk about Ahmed Hassanein every episode, and I think we're going to mention his name quite a bit if we're talking about defense, but That's the type of mindset that gets you drafted. I think that's the type of stuff that the Detroit Lions seen. You can go back to before he was drafted at the NFL Combine when he was kind of barking at some coaches during drills. This is a Detroit Lion kid through and through, Will. And his dad, shout out to him. His dad popped up on our show a couple nights ago when we talked about him. And I said, if your son's interested, we'll have him on the show. And we're still waiting to hear. Maybe we need to do a little reaching out, but I thought that was pretty cool that his father popped on here and was checking us out. So if you happen to be watching this one as well, send him the word. We'd love to have him on Detroit Den 313 to sit back and talk a little football with him whenever he's available, Will. But how do you feel about this?
Hey, first things first, I'll go one step further. Dad, if you want to come on and talk a little Detroit Lions football, jump on here for a little bit, man, and just give us a little insight on your son, man, because we're so big excited about him, man. I keep saying I'm trying to just taper things down. I can't remember the last time I've been this excited. I mean, the only close thing that I could say is Malcolm Rodriguez, because I was pretty excited about Malcolm Rodriguez when he got drafted as a later round guy. But I'm super excited to see what Hassanein is. I'm not saying there's crazy expectations and I want him to be a 10-sack guy immediately and all of this stuff. But I really believe in people who want it really bad. And he wants it, man. Humble beginnings. He had an interview today where they asked him what his favorite part so far about just being a Lion and the facility and everything. And this dude said, I just
lobster
love
mac and cheese.
like they just, the snacks, man. The snack bar is crazy, man. And they're like, yeah, they said, man, they had lobster mac and cheese.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Wow. And I'm like, man, I need to get to that facility, man.
Is it all you can eat? Like, what are we doing?
I wouldn't mind a little lobster mac myself. So yeah, man. I'm excited for you, Mr. Hassanein, man. Just keep doing your thing, keep grinding. I know it's going to be an uphill battle. He's on a learning curve, only 5 years of football experience, so he doesn't need to hear it from me. But we're cheering for you here at Detroit Den 313, and just keep battling.
Don't let Ahmed be Brad's next late round steal like he did with Amon-Ra St. Brown. Just don't let that happen. Don't let Isaac Tesla be Jordy Nelson. And don't let Ahmed Hassanein be the next Amon-Ra St. Brown late round steal. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm interested to see what he looks like on a football field, man, because I did see in part of that article, I believe they said he looked kind of small next to Marcus Davenport. So I'm interested to see, how that unfolds, because he's not the tallest guy, but he's also not small. He's 270. Yeah, he's 270 pounds at the end of the day. Like, so, I mean, he is only 6'2", but hey, Aaron Donald, he wasn't the tallest guy either. You know what I mean? So, and I'm interested to see what he turns into, because I don't know that he's going to end up just being an edge. Like, is he a guy that can bounce around that D line and play different spots? I'm interested to see what he turns into as an NFL player, because I don't think that anybody really has a clue outside if he's going to be a guy with a huge motor and a huge heart that's never going to give up and never going to give in. So, Casey Rogers, mold him into something special, man, and we're going to be pretty excited to watch it.
I'll read this last quote from Jeremy's article on Ahmed Hassanein. While Hassanein looked noticeably small for what the Lions typically like in an edge, he's 6'2" compared to Marcus Davenport 6'4". It was also easy to see the motor that endeared him to Detroit. Several times he made his way into the backfield during walkthroughs, and he even displayed a pretty impressive long arm on an interior lineman, despite having relatively short arms. So, well, the motor's there. Let this kid work on a little technique. I'm telling you, don't let him be another late round steal for Brad Holmes, because just build the statue for Brad. If that case, if this kid is the next one.
Yeah, I think you're dead on, man. No argument here.
Last player that I don't know how many more you want to talk about, but I think an undrafted guy, an undrafted wide receiver, Jackson Meeks, cousin of Zadarius Smith, was noted for having the play of the day. Will, we've talked about him a little bit when we did our undrafted free agency show. We both said that it's easy to say that he's probably not going to make the team, just because this is a Lions roster that's built for a Super Bowl run. Like, we're pretty deep. There's not many jobs to be had. And then especially if you want to talk about some of the kids that we drafted, Isaac Tesla and Lovett out of Georgia, it's going to be really tough to make another wide receiver spot in. I don't know if it's special teams. If there's a spot for him, is probably the only thing I could potentially see, but I think that there's a lot of guys competing for special teams jobs. So
Yeah.
I don't know, but Meeks has his work cut out for him. I think he's going to be a story to watch during training camp. Has your opinion changed at all?
No, I'm excited to see what he turns into. It was cool to see that he made an awesome play today. I just don't know. And it's no offense to him, but it's just me tipping my cap to Brad and this organization for putting together an awesome roster. It's just tough to make this team right now, man, especially at the wide receiver position. I don't know that we cut Tim Patrick, even though we got Isaac Tesla. So, I mean, Khalif Raymond is probably going to be on this team. You got St. Brown, you got JMO. I mean, there's just not a lot of positions that are open, man. I quietly, I felt like when I listened to Dominic Lovett have his interview today at the rookie press conferences, I felt like he had a quiet confidence about himself too today. And he's a guy, when I watched the film on him, he excites me as well. And he said that he's willing to do whatever it takes to get on this roster as well. So he's the guy that I haven't given up on the idea of him making this roster either. So if he's down to go be a gunner, if he's down to return some kicks, if he's down, to do all of the things on special teams, he's another one, man. But that said, I'm expecting a star-studded special teams group. I think Dan Jackson is a star. Like I think he's going to end up being a star on special teams. Sione Vaki, star of special teams. Like this special teams unit is going to be special, man. Malcolm Rodriguez, when he comes back, star of special teams. You know what I mean? So this is going to be exciting, Steve, because I think they've put together a roster of all three phases of football with some major key star pieces that I think that you could really see people falling in love with. I could see people falling in love with Dan Jackson. And I don't know where he would start in our secondary, but I could definitely see him punching out a football on a punt team. I could definitely see him being a part of a fake punt. I could see him making an impact on a football game. I can see Sione Vaki on a fake punt. You know what I mean? I could see Lovett returning some kicks. Like they've drafted some guys that can fit into some roles that aren't sexy, but they're really needed.
Yeah, if we can get some extra possessions from our special teams unit, we'll just absolutely look out. You got anything else for tonight?
No, I'm just excited for some of these guys, man. I'm really hoping that there's one more player. And by one more player, I mean we either sign one more player or one of these guys, maybe Jackson Meeks, just one of these guys that we haven't even talked about yet shows up and shows out, man. Somebody through camp that we didn't think, maybe the guy from Houston, the big edge, the defensive tackle, like just one extra guy that shows up out of nowhere and makes this roster and makes an impact, because the sky is the limit, man. I already like this roster a lot. I'm just looking for one more person to really solidify it. And really that's Hassanein or I'm hanging on to Zadarius Smith because, hey,
he's still a Lion to me until he signs somewhere else. So I'm really hoping that we can make that official.
Man, I'm just because that really Zadarius Smith. This roster is I'm going into the season with a little bit of arrogance if we sign Zadarius Smith. And it's not like Zadarius Smith is the best edge in the league, but it just gives me a warm and fuzzy to know that I got Zadarius Smith and Marcus Davenport and Hassanein. It just makes me feel a little bit better.
It's comfort.
I'm not going to sit here and bash Marcus Davenport. Brad Holmes obviously has some confidence in him and some belief in him. He didn't do a whole lot to address the edge. So I think that he's showing Marcus Davenport, hey, come out, show me. I'm going to give you an opportunity here. If he does, man, matched up with guys like Levi Onwuzurike, what are we doing here? I mean, the best defensive lineman in football? The sky's the limit, Steve.
I'm with you, Will. You got anything else?
Nope, that's it, man.
All right, guys, I cannot. What are you saying?
No, I was just saying, no, that's it, man. I'm just excited, man. I'm just excited. I had to drop my Levi.
Oh gosh, here we go. I absolutely cannot wait for Monday. Again, think about becoming a member. It is not required. It's greatly appreciated. We're already hit our mark of 100, so we're going to start that giveaway. Get in it while you can. We'll cut it off probably Monday around 5:00. I'll start putting the names in the pool. It's going to take me a little bit with all these names. Also, I'd like to recognize my new co-host here, Tate Williams. I don't know if you guys have noticed that Will is a spitting image of Tate Williams, but I hopefully this is a first and last appearance for him. But stick around, hit that like button. We'll be back later with another show.
Peace.